here with Bob Beretta, the AD of LeMoyne College, AD and DT, coming to you every first and third Wednesday of each month in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. I'm wearing my Christmas t-shirt sweater apparatus here, and Bob has the red tie on. So we're making it Christmas and holiday edition of AD and DT. Bob, how are you?
I'm great. How are you this morning, Dan? Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. Happy to have you here, Bob. And before we get into the Christmas and holiday edition, something to be thankful for is what we talked about our last AD and DT, and definitely thankful for the way the teams from the fall and all of the success that came through the fall. And now we have seen the women's basketball team have a nice strong start to their season and do some things. And we've seen the men's team come on as of late. So, in the full swing of winter sports and a lot of other pieces that are coming together, definitely happy coming off a win last night for the men's team.
Yeah, the men's team is really starting to kind of find their legs, Dan. I think that with so many new players that Coach Champion brought in, it just took a little time for them to gel and find a combination, a rhythm of the rotation. Now, having said that, 3 starters are out currently and didn't play in the game last night, but that's what made last night's victory even more impressive was the fact that we really dug deep into the bench and we had some players that hadn't been getting significant minutes really stepped up last night and played well. And freshman Trent Mascara had an outstanding game for us. And Isaiah Salter has just been an unbelievable addition to this program. He's just a high character individual, a great leader, and he's been one of our most productive players on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively. He's just been terrific. And, it was really satisfying to watch somebody like Jack Poirier came in last night, and he picked up a lot of the minutes that were left on the bench due to injury and performed exceedingly well. So a nice team win last night, cracked the 100-point mark, actually hit 100 on the nose, and now head to Vegas for 2 really challenging games over the weekend. So I think that when our team returns, they'll be very battle tested in terms of heading into the NE10 and start right off the rip here with New Year's Eve with a really tough matchup against New Haven in Connecticut. So really happy with where things are with the men's basketball program, 7-5, and a lot of depth, a lot of talent, and really all starting to come together.
Yeah, and it's great to see that. And like you said, hey, depth builds, to me, when injuries happen, it builds character and potentially more team bonding because you have to come together and find a way to get through it together. And, of course, it gives you depth for the future because the experience now that might be some adversity is going to turn into something special, knowing that they had some time on the floor that maybe they didn't anticipate having. And that from being at Army as well, the next man up when it comes to football, and they talk about depth and, saying, all right, first, second, third string. Well, you know what? Our third string quarterback now is prepared to step in next season if he has to. So there's something to be said about, the injury bug kind of gets everybody. No one's immune to it. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that can come from that can be positive for the future.
Yeah. As a coach, you always preach that to your players that are maybe not starters or not getting the significant minutes that they might wish for, that, hey, you're one injury away. You're one play away from becoming a starter. So you got to prepare as if you are a starter. You never know when that opportunity is going to knock. And for several players here on our men's basketball team, it knocked last night, and they responded extremely well. Again, they'll head to Vegas on Friday with games Saturday and Sunday, come back Monday, then take a little bit of a break. But I think by New Year's, we should have the majority of those injured players back. One was Luke Sutherland, fractured a bone in his thumb. And then we had Nate McClure out and Mike DePersia out as well. So hopefully they'll all be back and ready to go when the calendar flips to 2023. And we're really excited about where we stand and the depth, as you mentioned. Now some of these players that hadn't been battle tested early in the year are suddenly going to receive quality minutes, and they'll be battle tested, and it'll only improve our depth. But that team is a joy to watch. They really enjoy playing with and for each other.
Yeah.
They serve each other on the court really well. And last night they were up and down the court, and I think the score would have been even more lopsided, but Coach Champion pulled the reins in a little bit in the last 5 minutes. Our guys just kind of wanted to keep running up and down the floor, and he was trying to slow the pace down a little bit to keep the score under control. But really impressive victory for our men's basketball team last night.
shout out to the men's basketball team and Nate Champion and all the work that they're doing, as well as Mary Grimes and women's basketball as they continue to push forward and get deeper and deeper into NE10 play. They've had some taste of it, and will continue to move forward with that. One of the most difficult, if not the most difficult, Division II conference to get through, not just in basketball, but in a lot of different sports. Bob, this is our Christmas and holiday special of AD and DT. So you and I are going to have some fun with this because it's something that we have going in to Christmas. So we're going to play Rapid Fire Christmas Edition. And so it's got to be Christmas related if we're going to ask the question. I'll ask you the first one. Favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah, great question. Well, traditionalist, Christmas Carol.
Okay.
George C. Scott, big fan. Big fan of that one. Alistair Sim, big fan of that version as well. Got to go traditional Christmas Carol. More recent, I love Deck the Halls. Always makes me laugh, and of course, Christmas Vacation. How can you not laugh with Chevy Chase and Christmas Vacation? So they're kind of my top three. And I'll tell you one other one that's more personal is really old movie called The Gathering.
Okay.
The Gathering, Ed Asner, way back, filmed in the 70s, but I don't know, it just kind of strikes a chord with me. So those are my Christmas go-tos.
I like those. I definitely got to. What'd you say? Oh, how about me? I would say.
Yeah, how about yourself?
So my number one, without doubt, is it's a tie, but it's the same universe. Is Home Alone 1 and 2. And I'm a big fan of Home Alone. I would set traps as a kid if like my buddy and I were home alone, so we would kind of like, booby trap the house. But I love them both. I feel like sometimes I lean more toward the second than the first, and then I go back to the first. But it's got to be that the first ornament I put on my tree this year is actually from Witty Wicks here in Camillus, and I didn't know that they had them until I saw them, and I bought it before it was even in the computer system, and it's a giant ornament that says "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." So I had to get that, and I would say outside of that, I like Elf with Will Ferrell, and what other ones? I'm not a Christmas Story fan. I know that makes people feel some kind of way, but I didn't really get that movie. I do like Christmas Vacation. So that one's gotten there. But I probably have to say Home Alone. But, Bob, I'm a sap. I feel like this year I'm all about, like, the Hallmark Channel, and I know what's going to happen, but I'm watching it anyways. So, I mean, and I feel like it's kind of going off of that. When I was down in Florida right before my dad got down, I was at Disney Springs, and I'm just walking through Disney Springs, and I didn't know there was going to be a tree or lights or anything. And I'm walking through, and there's this beautiful, huge tree. And then this music started playing when I was walking there, and all this fake snow started to fall. And it looked like I was in the middle of a Hallmark movie. But, Bob, she wasn't there. So most of the movie was there, just not her.
No, in good time, Dan.
In good time. So my, let's see here. So my next one for you, Christmas song that always gets to your heartstrings.
Easy. Well, two.
Okay.
My favorite Christmas singers of all time, Bing Crosby and Nat King Cole.
Good
so choice. Christmas song with Nat King Cole and White Christmas with Bing Crosby. But Faith of Our Fathers, well, kind of a Catholic song that they sing around Christmas time. I just love Bing Crosby and the King. So yeah, I think anything that either one of those two sing, they got me.
Okay.
But those are the top.
All right, what's your next one for me?
Yeah, so along the Christmas movie theme, how about, other than Christmas movie, as a kid growing up, or even now, because I know we all still watch those Christmas cartoon type shows and specials, what is or was your favorite Christmas special growing up?
I would say, I like that you asked this question because I can't believe I forgot to mention it before. The Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but that one with the Island of Misfit Toys, the claymation, when they made all those clay ones. That is my favorite. And as a kid growing up, and even as an adult, when they say Rudolph is coming on next, I'm like, oh, I got to tape it. And it's not the Rudolph I think it is. It's the cartoon version of the original version, and nothing's like the original version. So I would say that's got to be my favorite special. I also have always loved watching the Disney Christmas parade, like actually like seeing that and getting to see that kind of beauty of the Magic Kingdom and like all the special guests that they would have. So I do enjoy that, and I would miss it a lot because like we'd open gifts early and then my mom would be cooking. So now I'm gonna try and like make sure I watch it this year if they have it. Hopefully they will. But yeah, no, it's got to be Rudolph. Nobody takes a second place or nobody puts Rudolph in second place for me. Let's see here. What are your traditions? What traditions hold true? Is there anything you do with your family to this day that is still a tradition in the family?
Well, it's interesting. This is really going to be our first Christmas away from our home down in Orange County, and since my daughter was born, before that, 30 some years. So I find it a little bit different this year. In the past, though, we would typically just a very quiet family holiday. We would go to Mass Christmas Eve, just do a really quiet dinner with my wife, Jen, and Julia. We would, when she was younger, we would order pizza and wings and make some other things, and then just really spend a quiet night getting ready for Santa Claus, and that was our tradition. Then my mother and my sister would come over for dinner and spend the day with us, really from about midday on Christmas Day. So really quiet family, not a lot, not a big situation. I don't have a large family. Many of my family members have passed, to be honest. So it was really just kind of a quiet deal. And now we'll be up here this Christmas, and my wife's family is in the area. So we'll spend Christmas Day with my wife's family, Jen, and then we'll go down to Orange County to my mother and family. So really just quiet around the family. We just kind of shut things down a little bit for a few days and just try to enjoy each other's time.
Yeah, I like it. And we don't have as big of a family, but it's the quality of the people that you're around, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I guess the other tradition here more recently for me was when I was at West Point, there was a bowl game in there somewhere,
Yeah.
whether it was a couple days before Christmas. So with that, we were gone the week before. So I really had a scramble when I got back. Many times our game was on the 22nd, the 23rd, maybe even the 24th one year. A couple times we left Christmas night. So being at a school without football really provides the runway of just kind of shutting down and enjoying some time away and recharging the batteries. And so it'll be I'm still getting accustomed to that.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. Yeah. What's one more that you have for me?
Favorite Christmas cookie?
Oh, chocolate loaf. My grandmother made it. We make it now. It's incredible. When you see the amount of fudge and different things that go into it, you're thinking to yourself, if I have but one bite of this, I may die. But but it's so.
You told that with a smile on your face.
Yeah, because it's so good. It's like don't show me how. What do they say? Don't show me how the bread's made or whatever. But it's so good, and I love making all the cookies with my mom. Probably I would say cutouts, because my mom would always let me like have the rest of the frosting. She still does, and we still make Christmas cookies together because she's just a really, really fantastic mom, and she, no matter how old I get, she always spends that quality time with me, and I'm so grateful for that. So,
well, I need to get one of those, Dan. You need to put one of those to the side for me when we see each other next.
Bob, I'm going to tell you this: there's not a lot of people that get these Christmas cookies. We hold them close to the vest, but you're one of the people that if I'm going to give out a couple tins, and there's a very tiny short list, you were already on that list before you asked for it. So we got you covered.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. My stomach will really appreciate that as well.
Yeah, no, we got good ones. Chocolate loaf, pistachio balls, lemon balls, cutout cookies, chocolate balls. so many different things that almond paste. The almond paste, that's expensive. That's definitely that, and I think that's the one my mom enjoys making those, but those are not always the easiest ones to make. But and I still eat like the dough while we're doing it and all that stuff. So
She's still yelling at you, slapping your hands.
yeah, and she said, well, you roll it out, and then it's always like put more flour on it, roll it again, and I'm like, I still to this day am like, Ma, didn't I? Isn't it rolled enough? It looks like I just ran over this cutout cookie. But with that being said, Bob Beretta, myself, Dan Tortora, I appreciate a few minutes today as we get to celebrate Christmas and the holiday season. Bob, you get the final note. What do you want to say to the LeMoyne family and the greater family across the world that may be watching and listening about this Christmas and holiday season?
Well, thanks, Dan. My last word is really just one of gratefulness. Thanks, and so grateful to have the opportunity to serve this LeMoyne community as the athletic director, our student athletes, our coaches, our staff. I'm so grateful for friends and colleagues like yourself. I consider you both a friend and a colleague, obviously. Dan, our staff that works so hard, cares so much, so passionate about our mission. President Lemura giving me the opportunity to lead this wonderful athletics community, and really all of our Fin faithful out there. I wish everyone a healthy, happy, safe, and relaxing holiday season. And we hope that Santa Claus brings a lot of Fin victories for all of us in the 2023 calendar year.
Yeah, hopefully that stocking is fully stuffed with some Dolphin beautifulness. And I want to give you this note because I'm always going down to Jacksonville and covering the Jaguars. There's actually a sleigh in the Jacksonville airport. And I want to say, I hope it's still there, but I know they've had it for a bit here. There's a sleigh where Santa doesn't have reindeer; he has dolphins. So it's
We
what'd you say?
we need more dolphins on sleighs. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So with that being said, thank you, Bob, as always. Appreciate it. And as we always say, fins up. And I look forward to talking with you very soon. And hopefully I'll see you before Christmas rolls around here. We'll spend some time. But with everything that you've done, and yes, a friend and a colleague, I second that in a big way. And I can't thank you enough. Like I said a week ago, you set the bar really high. And I take that very seriously. As a friend and as a colleague, you set the bar high. So thank you for all you've done, and thank you for trusting me with spreading the message and being able to be a part of so many of these great people that you mention all the time.
Well, we're thankful for you and the partnership, Dan, but it's far more than a partnership and a friendship. It's sharing camaraderie, it's sharing goodwill, and I want to wish all of your followers and all of our fans out there Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday Season, and be safe, be happy, enjoy your family members, and we look forward to being with you throughout 2023.
Thanks, Bob. As always, a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays to everyone. And Bob couldn't have said it better. So thank you for your final word, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Be well, Dan.
Take care.